Back again with the Fujifilm X100VI. Today's video is about the 365-day challenge I gave myself, which just completed. I went 365 days using this camera every single day, out skipping a day. I want to talk about it. Talk about the camera. I want to talk about what I like about it, what I don't like about it. I want to talk about the challenge itself and what I learned trying to take photos 365 days in a row. Why we climb up to Sugarloaf something. I forget the name of it, but up there is like a little shack. I'm told that it used to be, they used to burn fires in it for the airplanes coming into El Paso airport to see. I don't know if that's true. I should probably look it up and figure it out, but going up there, it's a short hike, but it's super steep. So I'm usually out of breath in my videos, and I'll probably be extra out of breath in this one. Yeah, let's get going. All right, as I hike, I'm gonna try to talk to you guys. I'll go slow so I'm not sounding super out of breath. But first, I kind of wanted to just talk about my experience with photography, where I started, where I'm at now, and why I did this 365-day challenge. In high school, I mean, I guess I had film cameras as a kid and been into photography a long time, but high school is when I really got into it, and I got some cool pics, some Nikon cool pics thing. Didn't take it very seriously, just had fun with it. But enough to kind of get me interested in photography. And then after that, I got a Nikon D200. And at that point, I was in the military, and I took a Nikon D200 with me to Iraq. I was in infantry, and took it on every mission, took a bunch of pictures. Got a lot of really cool pictures, and that's when I really got into photography. And I had that camera for maybe 2 years. And then, typical me, I sold everything because I got into skydiving at that time. And I switched hobbies. So I went from photography to skydiving. Skydiving's expensive. Cost me about 10 grand to get my license and all my gear, so I needed to sell a bunch of stuff. So got out of photography, and that was probably like 2007, 2008. Didn't really touch photography until a year ago. And the reason I got into it was because I work in the gaming industry, so I'm really into tech. And all these tech people I follow kept talking about this new camera coming out, Fujifilm X100VI. I had no idea what they were talking about, but I was like, why is everyone I follow talking about this camera? So I looked into it, and I was like, oh, it seems kind of cool. Sure. So I think I pre-ordered it on like 6 different websites. Because as you guys know, they're very hard to get. It's so dreamy out here. Anyway, pre-ordered on like 6 websites, eventually got one. And as you can now tell, I get in and out of hobbies very quickly. So when I got this camera, I gave myself a goal that I needed to use it every single day and post at least one picture every single day on my Instagram account for 365 days straight, not skipping a day. And that challenge ended on March 31st of this year. And I did it for the most part. The rules were simple. It was use it every single day, post a picture that I took the same day, and I can't buy any new cameras unless I complete the challenge. I did end up buying a Nikon FM towards the end of it, film camera, so I kind of cheated there. It was cheap. And I think there were maybe 2 or 3 days throughout the entire year that I didn't post a picture that I took the same day. I took photos with the camera every day. There was maybe 2 days of the year I just hated everything I took that day, and I was like, screw it, I'll post something that I took another day. So I cheated a little bit, but the main goal for the challenge was to get me hooked on photography and let me stick with this hobby and not give it up like most other hobbies I get into. And that part of it was a big success. So now I'm fully addicted to photography again. Created a lot of good habits for myself through this challenge. Got another video on my channel, 6 Habits to Make You a Better Photographer. Check that one out if you want to hear more details about all this. But that's kind of the basis of the challenge, why I did it. Am I missing anything? I don't think so. I learned a lot though. It's tough trying to do it for every day for a year. There's some days when you're just not motivated, you don't want to get out. Days like this. What the heck? Thought I saw a really weird moth, but I didn't. Days like this, it's cold and rainy, and you know, it'd be nice to be at home, cuddled up on the couch watching TV, but instead I'm out here. One big thing I took away from it was like, embrace the bad days. Because the more bad days you have in a row, the better the good day feels when you finally get there. And those good days are kind of what kept me going, kept me motivated. Most days I didn't have good photos. Like I can show you a bunch. You can go on my Instagram account and look at every single day. And some of those days, they're not good photos. But maybe once a month or once every few weeks, I'd have a good day that I was like, man, I love all these photos today. And it just gets you like energized and psyched and ready to keep going. So don't get discouraged on the bad days. Use them as motivation. And remember that the more bad days you have, the better the good days feel. If every day was an amazing day and you just took like the best photos every single day, is it that special anymore? I don't know. I think it's more special when you suck most of the time and then you've got a good day. So that's the biggest takeaway I took from the 365-day challenge. Yeah, let's keep walking and keep taking pictures. And next I'll tell you about some of the things I love about this camera. I did do a whole video on that. So today's will be a little bit shorter, but if you want to see that video, be linked somewhere. All right, let's keep going. The desert's crazy. I was trying to like wedge my camera on this rock as a tripod. See if I can get this. There's like a little tiny cactus growing in the rock. It's so little that I can't even get that close to it to focus on it. I'll try to get a picture of it, but desert's crazy to me. Just plants find everywhere to grow out of. It's cool. Okay, that's all. All right, I have my nature tripod going, wedged in the rock while I talk. Let's talk about the things that I love about the Fujifilm X100VI. I did a whole video on this, but cover some different points here. But if you want to see a more detailed video, check my channel, or maybe there'll be a link somewhere if I can figure that out. First thing is, and I've said this before and many times actually, I think this is a great beginner camera to learn on. I know, as I explained earlier in the video, I did have some photography experience back from high school and military. That was like 10, 15 years ago. So getting this, it almost felt like I was starting new. But this camera just, you know, you've got a dial for aperture, you got a dial for ISO, dial for your shutter speed, exposure compensation dial. So the main dials are there, so you don't have to mess with diving into all the settings, or, you know, just like use the physical dials that you need, and it makes it super easy. I also love the colors and the film recipes. I don't really use the film recipes anymore, but starting out, it was like really inspiring to just have a camera that JPEGs look good out of right away. Yeah, I mean, it was super easy. Like, I think day one, I took a picture and I was like, oh, damn, that's a good picture. So, I don't know how much of it was the camera, how much of it is me, I don't know. But it felt like this inspired me and helped me get out to take a lot of good pictures. Didn't have to edit them. They just look good. So that was the main thing I like about it. I like the form factor. I like the way it looks. I like the size of it. I like that it's kind of easy to take everywhere. It's not too big. Also, when I'm taking pictures in downtown or wherever, people don't seem intimidated by it. Like, no one notices it. If they do notice it, they're usually complimenting me on how cool it looks. A lot of people think it's a film camera. So yeah, I like that. I like just the form factor. Another thing, which I didn't talk about in the other video, is just the simplicity of this camera. I mean, it does have a lot of features and you can kind of get crazy and dive into all the menus and do different things. But at the same time, it's kind of very simple. Like I said, just says you've got all physical dials for the things that are most important. It's fixed lens, 35mm full frame equivalent. And I thought it was fun. You know, in the beginning I thought, do I really want to, like, my first camera back, get a fixed lens and be stuck at only 35mm for a whole year? Like, you know, I was doing this challenge for a whole year. Is that going to annoy me? And I didn't bother me. I think it was great. Like, I didn't have to worry about which lens do I take out for the day, which, like, there's just no decisions to worry about. You just grab your camera and you go. And I think that helped me take more pictures and get out more and not think. You know, it wasn't about like, oh man, did I take the wrong camera out today? Did I take the wrong lens? Did I do that? It was just like, this is all you got and this is all you're using. You make it work. And I like that. And I think doing that for a year made me a better photographer. So now I do have a different camera, which we'll talk about in the next video, I think. But now it's kind of weird. I'm so used to 35mm. Now that I have options, it's like, what am I doing? So another thing that I love about this camera is just how durable it is. I've taken this thing everywhere with me for the last 365 days. I've shot it in snow, rain, 60-mile-an-hour dust storms. It's raining right now. Like, I've just abused it. I don't really baby it. And like, it gets slammed around and bumped around and dropped, and it's been fine, mostly. In the part where I talk about things I don't like, there's been one issue. We'll get there. But otherwise, it's been great. It's a tank. It's been, yeah, love it. I never, like, I don't know. When there's bad conditions, I'm never like, ooh, should I go out? I don't know. I just take it and I don't think about it, and it works, and it's been fine, and I'm going to keep doing that. Sweet. Those are the things I love about it. I just think, I mean, it's a fun, great little camera. Next, we'll talk about the things I don't like about it, and there are a few. Yeah, so let's keep hiking and take more pictures, and we'll talk about it. Okay. I thought this was cool. So many of these cactus just like growing out of the rocks, which look cool, but then in the background, kind of got this mountain, that mountain, mountains back there. So try to kind of layer it with that cactus and all those layers of mountains. I think that's cool. As I'm going slower today for a couple of reasons. One, it's midday, which I've realized shooting in midday is cool because you're not rushing for golden hour. And also because I don't want to be winded during the video like on my other videos. So I've been slowing down. As I'm slowing down, I'm noticing so many small little things that I probably would have otherwise missed. So there's a tip for you. Slow down. Take your time. Go out midday so you don't have to rush for golden hour. Yeah. That's all for now. Springtime in the desert. You can find little flowers if you look close enough. Pretty little cactus flower. But look, we made it. Made it. Here's the shack I was talking about. When I was driving up here, there was like a little bit of cloud coverage on this mountain. I was hoping it was still going to be here, but it's not. Bummer. Now check it out. That's El Paso. Over there-ish is Fort Bliss. Over there, probably hard to see, it's Mexico. Yeah, beautiful view from up here. Got McKelligan Canyon in here. I did the hike and show you the view so you don't have to. But if you live in the area, you should definitely come up here. It's cool. It's a cool spot. I think it's called Sugarloaf Trail or something like that. Check this thing out. Graffiti. The booths are still there. wasn't by me, even though my name's right there. Yeah, all right. Whoa, slippery rocks in the rain. I'm gonna walk around and try to get some pictures. I'll show you the one picture I took here last time I was here. One of my favorite pictures I've taken, I think, of myself. But I put my camera down on a rock. I think it was that rock right there. But it was too far to do like the remote trigger. So I had to use, I put it on, I don't know what it's called. But I set it so that it would take a picture like every 2 seconds continuously. And I walked out to that little spot, stood there for a bit, came back, and got a cool picture. So my other video I was telling you about 6 habits, and one of them was try different camera settings, and that was an instance of, hey, let me try something I've never done before. It worked out pretty cool. All right, I'm gonna walk around, take pictures, and I'll show you guys what I get. All right, time to talk about things I don't like. There isn't many. First one, and this is probably the one you hear most people complain about, is the autofocus. Especially on continuous. The continuous autofocus isn't the best. I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be. Like, it's still usable. I'll show you some pictures I've gotten that were continuous autofocus, like action shots. I think it's just, you know, if you take a burst of 10 photos, I feel like maybe like 20 or 30% of them are actually going to be in focus and the rest aren't. But, you know, my new camera is a Sony, which is supposed to be the best, or one of the best autofocus. And last night I was shooting in low light conditions and it couldn't capture focus either. So I had to put it in manual. So I don't think any camera's perfect. So don't make that be a thing that stops you from getting this, because I think it's okay. It also, on like continuous mode on high, I think you can do like, let me look real quick. You can do all the way up to 11 frames per second without it cropping. And I've used it, and I'll show you a picture. I just got of that the other day. So, you know, it's not terrible. It's usable. The other thing that I don't love about it, well, talk about the issue that I've had that I don't know why, but maybe 6-8 months into owning the camera, I'll turn it on and it doesn't turn on, and I have to put the switch back to off and then back on again, and then it'll turn on. It's not a huge deal, and it doesn't happen all the time. It only happens sometimes, but it's happened enough to where I've like noticed it, and it's kind of annoying. I don't think I've ever like missed a shot because of it, so whatever. But yeah, sometimes I have to like cycle it on and off. Not sure what that's about. Other thing that sucks about it, it's just they're just hard to get. So good luck trying to get one. I recommend calling your local camera store and ask what their wait list is like and get put on a wait list. I did that, and the local camera store got it fairly quickly, a few months. So try that. Another thing I want to mention, I know these are hard to get, and I know I rave about this camera, but I want to make a point that I don't think this is the only camera that can be a good beginner camera, have good colors, have fun film recipes, like good JPEGs right off the camera, nice form factor. Like, this isn't the only one. Like, if you can't get this, there's plenty of other ones out there. You know, the Ricoh GR or whatever it's called. My buddy just got one of those, and that thing looks awesome. It's even smaller. Then you've got the Nikon, what is it, like the ZF or whatever it's called, that thing. It's also a pretty cool camera. So don't get sucked into the hype of the X100VI. Like, it's not the only cool camera out there that does all these things. There's other options. So if you can't get this one, there's other ones. I think the important thing is just get a camera that inspires you. Get a camera that you want to pick up. Like, when you look at this thing sitting on your desk, you're like, ooh, let me, like, you just gotta, even if you're just walking around the house snapping pics, you know, get a camera that makes you want to do that. And this was it for me. Yeah, otherwise, I don't think it really matters. Whatever inspires you, you're going to use the most, and the more you use it, the better you'll get. I highly recommend, if you can, try to do this 365-day challenge, especially if you're a beginner and you're just starting out. I think it helped me tremendously. Just think about it this way. If me as a beginner using this camera for 365 days straight, you as a beginner who maybe only goes out twice on the weekend, you go out 100 times in a year, and I went out 365 times in a year. So 3 times as much experience in the camera in photography as someone else. I think it's not like it's a competition, but you're just going to get better much faster if you actually try to use it every single day. So highly recommend doing it. It was a lot of fun. There are obviously days when it's not fun and you kind of don't want to do it, but you force yourself to. I also found it's kind of fun to just like pick a location, even if it doesn't seem like a cool location, and just go, you know, walk around. Like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, there's a word and I can't think of it. I don't know. For lack of a better word, force yourself like 30 minutes in a location. Pick a location and say, look, I'm going to spend 30 minutes here no matter what. And throughout those 30 minutes, you'll find photos. Like, even if when you first got there, you're like, there's nothing cool here, you'll find photos. So I think the 365-day challenge helped me do that. It wasn't about like, oh, I'm only going to use my camera when I'm traveling and I go to cool locations. It ended up being I use it everywhere, all the time, even in the mundane things. And some of my favorite pictures are just kind of like stupid mundane things or trash, literally dumpsters. Yeah, so I recommend trying out this 365-day challenge. If you do, try it. Let me know how it goes. Stick with it. The further you get along, the easier it is. You create habits and it feels good. So try it out. This is probably about as good of a review as you're ever going to get from me. I don't care about specs and all the stats and gear, and I'm not kind of a gearhead. I just like taking photos and getting outside. So do I recommend it? Absolutely. Is it the perfect camera? No, probably not. Are there other options if you can't find this one? Absolutely. At the end of the day, just get something that inspires you, something that you love. The other thing I wanted to say is that I was thinking about starting a beginner series, like just explaining how all like the settings I've used, kind of how I got started, how I started with aperture priority, all these kind of different things. So if you're a beginner and you think that would be helpful of a series of kind of like where to start, it can get confusing. Everyone says, learn the exposure triangle and do this and do that. And it's all too much at once. I have an idea to like kind of introduce it slowly over a few video parts. So if that sounds interesting, let me know in the comments. Also, please subscribe. Thank you for everyone who subscribed. The channel's new. We're just getting cooking here, but so far so good. What? Serious talking about stuff. All right. Anyway, see you later. Bye.